Welcome to State of Consciousness Podcast with your hosts Gabriela Fernandez and Ryu, along with various other community collaborators, who will take you on a journey to explore through their individual offerings and services how they are contributing to the greater shift on the planet. If you are interested in how you can both experience and become a part of this energy, sit back and give a listen, as we are all one.
Welcome back to the State of Consciousness podcast. This is episode 8 with Yongo Wycliffe. Yongo currently lives and owns a 10-acre farm in Kenya and is the founder of Green Warrior Permaculture. Yongo is dedicated to education and awareness of permaculture and a greater perspective shift on the earth. We're really excited to share this interview with you where you'll get to hear about his journey and his story. But before we do, we have a note from Yongo to share with our listeners. Yongo says, "I am a green warrior. My mission is to care for the earth and to care for the people. I help the earth and the people get concrete needs with practical and focused action. My love for the earth and the people are my driving forces. The earth is our mother, and people are our brothers and sisters, our family. I don't just do what I like, I do what I must. I am a true warrior. The true warriors like me don't care about credit. We care about change. I maximize the use of resources. I think like a pirate and act like a warrior. I use everything I have and everyone I know to serve the course. I get things done every day. I am always learning to make myself more valuable for the tribe. I enjoy working together with my tribe in our everyday struggles. I see the truth of the earth and people in peril, and that drives me to devote myself to my mission." We hope you enjoy this powerful and inspiring interview. Let's jump in. So welcome to the podcast, Yongo. We are so excited for this conversation. And so we'll just jump right in and ask you the first question. Can you share a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing in your community? And you can feel free to talk as much or as little about your entire journey, and we'll use snippets from your response to ask more questions.
Okay, Yongo Chena Wycliffe, and basically I'm from Africa, Kenya, in a village known as Zea Farm. This is where I purchased my farm, about 10 acres, through the support of friends who came through to donate little so that I can have a farm, so that I can practice my knowledge. Because most of the times I used to volunteer around the villages, the farms, but mostly where I used to volunteer, they were not like practicing permaculture. They were practicing actually agriculture using of excessive chemicals, digging the soils, and no practicing permaculture and stuff like that. So like when I got a chance through the support of friend who volunteered to pay for my first PDC course, which I took in PRI Kenya. After taking a first course in Permaculture Research Institute of Kenya, I came back. I continued volunteering across the farms, but I wasn't happy like with the practices. You know, like in most of our parts in Kenya, you only, as much as you're volunteering, you don't have any power to do anything to someone's farm. You have to do whatever he or she wants you to do at her farm. So it was really difficult and it was really painful for me, like working where like the use of excessive chemicals. There's no like the three ethics of permaculture, which is the earth care, people care, and fair share, wasn't even like, as much as you're trying to share with them, it wasn't like they were not like into the concept, because for them it was like they have just to deal with agriculture, so that like once like they have to profit from the agriculture. For them, they believe like agriculture using the chemicals, it makes the production quick, and also make their profit come quick, not realizing that like using excessive chemicals, you are degrading the fertility of the soil, of which even if the land is being inherited by someone else, it will take the person who has inherited the land so much time for him or her to bring back the fertility of the soil. So it was like a really tough journey. So like after some times I quitted volunteering with them. So I stayed like in the street for a while. Then after that, the good friends again came. They sponsored my journey into US, into going to United States, where I did another course, which is environmental biology, together with permaculture course in combination. So after staying there, I had all the chances and opportunities of staying in the US, but I never chose like I want to stay in the US because I felt like I should bring back the knowledge and the ideas where it's really needed the most. That's why I came back home, and I told myself, what can I do so that I can get a place, so that I can put like a demonstration center where uh, people can come together, learn in mixed culture. You know, like in Kenya, we have mixed culture, different tribes, like 47 tribes practicing different cultures. But I thought like I should find a way to bring all these cultures together. And then I came into a discussions with friends where they gave me an idea of crowdfunding. Yeah, we did a first crowdfunding where, as much as the target wasn't reached, but we were able to build to come up with the land. Then after there, like I got to have friends like who I can give a big shout out to them, like Russell from Costa Mensa, who really who like his vision and mine were like of the same. So we came together, we started developing the farm. He helped like funding a lot of stuff, like you can see, like the guest house, water tanks, and many other projects. Like we have been working together with him, and then that's when we came up like okay, the farm, it's known as like the Green Warrior Permaculture Farm, or the Share Peace Permaculture Project, where we like it's a house. We believe it's the Green Warrior comes from like we are the warriors who we want to turn like our farm, our properties, and our land into like Garden of Eden. If you are like a Christian, you can know like those stories, like a Garden of Eden, like how we believe like we can create a paradise on earth by ourselves, or we can create a hell on earth by ourselves. So like we chose a path of creating a paradise. Even if we are gone, the generation to come will be proud and will be practicing what we have been practicing and putting into effort. So like we have been working with Russell together with other friends like Shayla, Kayla from US, also Lisa, and other many friends who we have been working with to put up this project and to support the community, because we believe like the future really needs real food, and the future really needs to be sustainable. And the only way the future to have real food is to practice permaculture.
Mm-hmm. And you have been very gracious in sharing a summary, of your journey, around the specific permaculture. But I'm also, to the degree that you are interested in speaking about this, really interested in hearing, about your own personal journey that's kind of even led you into this path. I know just by our relationship and having gotten a chance to know you better over the past year, I came to some awareness as to the many hills and things that you actually had to climb, even with, and at the same time maintaining that heart space that you're carrying to make some difference in the world and to help to support your people, because you have at many junctures had an opportunity to make other decisions where you could have stayed in the States, and you decided to not do that, and then some of the experiences that you've had along the way. So I'm wondering if you could or would feel gracious in wanting to share any aspects of that.
Yeah, actually, my journey hasn't been that much. Like kind of after losing my all my family, being an orphan, living on the streets, like at this at uh, at at some point in life, like kind of life was like tough, and even getting food was really tough. Like you can imagine, like the whole day you haven't even gotten food or water, and you even pray like kind of, okay, let me just get a tablet to eat so that it can reveal down the hunger. To reach that point, you can imagine, you are in the street. You're not even like praying like for food. You're just praying for a tablet so that you can eat. So like it gave me a challenge. Why are people like suffering like these tough times like that? And I thought myself like, okay, let me just try volunteering, try to make myself useful, because I felt like kind of I had like three choices in life, like to either join the gang. Joining the gang is to being a thief, or else either being a drug addict. And I saw like this path is not like a great path to join, because it will lead me into early death or prison. So like I just decided like, let me just start volunteering around the farm so that I can be getting food, volunteering just to get food and place to stay. And that's when I came to well wishers who like introduced me into permaculture. But actually, my personal life, it has been tough journey, and it has been really painful journey.
You shared some things with me about a year ago um, that I wasn't aware of, but what it did is it for me it spoke to the reason why you were the person that you are. And I'm just curious if you would share with our audience, like at what point in time caused you to, what do you think caused you to want to make this decision to not go towards the guns or go towards the drugs, and to really want to do something where to help this planet, you know? Like, was it at a certain age, or was it an interaction that you had with somebody or an experience?
The experience that I had in the streets that
Hmm.
led me to like make such decision, because I saw like all my friends who were growing up together on the street. Two of them were killed in front of me, like gunshot, because of theft and robbery, and others were, until today, they are in prison because of their the things they used to do. They used
Hmm.
to like use excessive drugs, then go to the uh, village, rep young women and children, steal. So like some were caught and were imprisoned, and some like were killed in
Hmm.
front of my eyes. So like I told myself this is not the path that I wish into my life. So like that's when I decided like, okay, I have to start volunteering at the farms so that it can keep me busy, and then can uh, remove my thoughts from bad and evil thoughts, like indulging myself into drug abuse, or also thinking of stealing, and those evil thoughts.
Hmm.
It's always believed like an idle mind, it's an evil mind. It's
Hmm.
a where the devil stays. So like I wanted to keep myself busy, and by keeping myself busy, I had to do like voluntary works at the farms.
Hmm. What kind of advice would you um, give to people now, based on, you'd had the journey of many, and some people would not have been able to, move through the experiences that you've had, not alone come out on the other end and be the type of person that you are, and doing all the work that you're doing to bring this light onto our planet right now, what types of wisdom and advice can you share with people around that importance, and the biggest things that you have learned, and relative to the experiences that you've had?
What I can tell or what I can advise people, uh, actually right now is like what basically like the full mantle of responsibility is in our own shoulder. And the great things about life, the most magnificent things about being these sentiment human beings in life is that we have been given the power of choice. We can change the world with one thought at at a time,
Mhm.
one act of respect and kindness at a
Mhm.
time as well, and a soul at a time. And let the change begin by our choice that we make in our daily lives and in every moment, even the moment we are speaking right now, this second, this minute. Let the change begin with our choices. This very moment, you can create wonderful things through your choices, even now. When you close your eyes to what apparently is and look inward to the infinite truth about life, of what is possible through our choices and imagination, one can discover that there is a vast landscape of enchanted territories with beautiful and clear open space for all people to exist together in harmony. We can build like a beautiful vision together through respect and through love. The
Mhm.
essential respect is one in your own heart and in your own self, the
Mhm.
expression of your own cons- conscientious and capacity of love that you give and receive, and humility and compassion. This is the path, and this is the way. This is the only way in life. That's what I discovered all through my life.
That's pretty powerful. And I think, and thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, while I was listening to you, the frequency from it just made me really tear up, because that's so profound, and it's so authentically and caringly spoken from someone who has been able to see and experience across this vast landscape. And um I think it's really important for people to hear that. And so many people globally have gotten a chance to observe you on a day to day, and all the people that you have touched. You probably have no idea how many people you have touched just by being you and being within your story. And, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to um, have gotten a chance to know you, and kind of being part of that collective family of individuals who are here on this planet, trying to contribute into making that big shift. Gabby, I'm going to toss it back over to you, because I know you have some additional questions for Yongo.
Thank you. I would love to know, when you went onto the farm to volunteer, did you find a sense of community there? And how much did that contribute to the next part of your journey and this, these beautiful sentiments that you shared? Did you receive support? And yeah, how did that fuel the rest of your journey?
Yeah, at the beginning, like kind of when I used to volunteer, like there was a sense of community, like kind of, and I believe like when we work together, like it's like a story where like kind of uh, an ancient guy came like with a fruit and placed into a basket, and there were like 20 children, and he told the 20 children like whoever runs and got to reach the basket at first, he or she will be the one to take the fruit. And you know what the children did? They held each other's hand, they ran towards the basket, and they arrived there together. And like that ancient man was like, why did you do that? And the children like were saying like, if we go together we can accomplish a lot of things, but if I go alone I won't be able to accomplish some things.
Yeah.
So like it's a sense like where, yeah, you can be working for a community, and it's you are practicing permaculture, not using like the chemical stuffs, and doing all the earth care, but your neighbor is not practicing, like uh, those chemicals that is spraying at his farm, definitely it will be spread by the winds to your farm, so it will be like a zero work that you are doing. So like you have to do things in pattern, like in a community. If you're practicing permaculture, your neighbor, you have to ensure you share the knowledge and the ideas to your neighbor so that he can practice those practices, so that when you have an organic yield, also your neighbor has an organic yield. Because if you practice, you're not using the chemicals, and your neighbor is spraying those chemicals, definitely the winds will spread those chemicals to your farm, and definitely you'll be also be consuming inorganic stuff. So like kind of once, if you have, and once I believe like in this earth, I am because you are, and you are because I am. If
Mhm.
I've learned something like which it's helpful, I have to share with my neighbor, so that my neighbor can share. Like kind of we, if we make it as a community. If we don't make it, we don't make it. But you can't tell me like kind of, it's just like in this uh, normal world, and this is the truth. For example, um, Gabi is working, financially stable maybe, and he's rich, and he's staying in the middle of a community where people don't have access to clean water, food, medical, and stuff like that. Those people will feel jealousy of Gabi, and they'll start like thinking evil, maybe stealing from Gabi, attacking Gabi to kill Gabi because of the progress he has made. But if Gabi is financially stable and he shows other people way to be financially stable, like in the community, to be sustainable, you won't hear like those cases where Gabi has been robbed, or Gabi stuffs have been stolen. So like you help someone, someone helps someone, another helps someone. That's how we build a community. You
Mhm.
never, it's just like the same case. I never knew this knowledge of permaculture if it wasn't for Bill. And maybe Bill learned from the ancient, uh, those people who lived during those olden days. Yeah, they used to practice these things, but they never called it permaculture. Maybe they had uh, something by another name. So like what me I believe, like there's nothing new in this world.
Right.
There is, yeah, it's just a matter of like learning from someone, and uh, because you might think this is something that's new here, but it already existed some centuries back then somewhere.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say that, because I often say there's nothing new that we're learning. We're just remembering, you know, how we used to do things. Um, and I just kind of want to take a little bit of honoring here, because you are a father right now, Papa, and you know, and you came on this planet with such a beautiful light. But how has having these little ones even up the game for you that way?
Definitely having these little ones has given me like kind of, for example, they are girls. How I handle like them. It's quite like same of how I handle my wife, or how I handle women, and how I handle us. Like for example, when my daughter screams and yell and start throwing things at the house, I don't have to yell back at her. Instead, I just have to hug her, grab her. It will calm her down. And I noticed it's something quite different to like all women. Whenever like they are stressed up, or there's something is bothering them, and they are in bad moods, you don't have like to treat them in a bad way. The only way, like, show them love, and they'll calm down. And it's quite the same, like having children in the society. It shows like how you need to handle the society, how you have to show them like the way. It inspires me, like how I will wish the community to be. It's how I wish like my home to be. You can't be preaching like kind of water and you're drinking wine.
Right. Yeah, and that's another poignant point, because oftentimes what people will do is they'll do one thing a certain way in one space, and then it's contrary. They're doing something different in another space, and they're wondering why they're not getting the desired result, right? And this consistency that you're talking about, of allowing your life to be kind of a reflection into your work, is really what makes up the essence of who you are. And it's so, again, it's just so wonderful to see all of that in action. And Gabby, I know I kind of pulled at your question, I pulled it back on my side, so I'm going to toss it back over, because I just wanted to just give a moment of honoring to the little ones there, and just allow Yongo to speak on that relationship briefly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a beautiful comparison and metaphor from the family dynamic to the societal dynamic, because that's what we see a lot of the time when people are angry or are putting hate out. What they really just need is to be loved and to feel the compassion. So I love your approach of, giving love and compassion. And is that a big part of how you educate people, and how much is education a part of your work? Do you teach people these values and the importance of these approaches, while also
Yeah,
teaching them on the farm how to grow the food?
yeah, definitely. What I say, like, I don't teach people. Like, mine is just to show them love, and love will like make them learn from themselves. Like, kind of what I'm doing, what I'm practicing. Like, that's why I've set it up a demonstration center. I don't have like kind of to tell you what you're practicing is bad. You have to see the results of what I'm practicing, and then go evaluate on what you're practicing, and see which one do you want to stick with, or which one do you want to follow. So mine is like to bring people into like kind of into permaculture, but by not like uh, teaching them, but just loving and showing some love, so like they can see what we're practicing. And once they see, they can go try implementing it. And once they try implementing it, we try like where they don't know and where they need like advice. That's when we come in, like we do a follow-up thing, like here should be done this. And it's a learning process. We learn something new from them, and also they learn something from us. Because what I believe, like we need to reach like millions who are in the cities, the hundreds and thousands in the industrial centers, the 10,000 in medium-sized towns, the 1,000 in small towns, the hundreds in the villages, all these at once, like a volcano eruption. It's like I'm taking it like permaculture as a spiritual revolution, which needs to spread through the earth to pass like people to crucial decision. People have to recognize the fruitfulness and splitting life into humanities. We must like be awakened to the life in which these things like we are practicing is integrated. And by doing this, like kind of, we don't have like what I can say on my part. I alone, I cannot change the society for the better, but I can radically transform my own consciousness, overturning the in condition that limits my potential. We can all do this one by one. Over time, we can change ourselves to the degree that the society change from the inside and the outside, giving the birth to the new way of being, manifesting our bright living in peace and in abundance world, where there's no fear, and where like human uh, trust, human trust ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Very, very well, heartfelt said. Well, this conversation has been so very rich, and we definitely, I think, would love to have you back again at some point down the line, especially as you are growing with your farm there and kind of checking in and seeing how things are. But I wanted to allow you to have the opportunity to mention to our audience how can they get in touch with you if they need to. You know, are there any funding things that you are trying to facilitate right now to help support the farm? And if you are, you know, how can folks get in touch with you to help support any of the initiatives that you are doing right now? And any, you know, if they want to make a donation to help support that in some way, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me, like kind of, it's through my Facebook handle, which is Yongo Otieno Weekly, or as well as you can reach me through like our Facebook page, like the Green Warrior Permaculture page, which is known as the Share Peace Permaculture Project as well. You
Mhm.
can also reach me through my email address, which is yongotieno04@gmail.com. You can also reach me through a lot of Facebook groups which I created with the aim of sharing the intentions, with the aim of sharing permaculture knowledge freely, because I I feel like kind of I really need to share this knowledge, because one day at one time I won't be here alive, and what will be my impact that I will have left behind. So like what makes me happy most, like sharing ideas and knowledge about permaculture with people freely. And basically right now I'm working with children and youths and women, and also like we are looking for funds to support a project teaching, because of course like most in my village, people to afford like permaculture courses is expensive. So like I volunteered myself running these PDC courses for free of charge, and you can't facilitate these courses without funds. We really need funds, buying the tools, buying teaching materials, and also we need like funds to develop the farm, because in future like we also want to host like kind of a conference where we invite permaculturists all over the world to come stay at the farm, learn for for as long as for a longer period of time that they want, because we are realizing most of the tourists go to visit the wildlife, but what if they come like turn uh, that into like, as much as they come for tour, they also learn. Or like we are creating an eco tour where you come as a tourist and also learn. You as much as you are coming to tour, also you are coming to learn, and putting beautiful image and pictures into your memories, and also sharing the ideas with others. And also, I'm working with friends, a lot of friends. Even while reaching them, you can also have reached me. You can reach some of my friends who are in this project together, like Russell, Kayla, Lisa, and a lot of names. Once you reach them, they can as well reach me.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. And we will be sure to link all of those different resources and pages that you mentioned so that people can connect with you. And it's just very inspirational and uplifting to hear about all of the initiatives that you have going on, and your beautiful perspective, for sharing this powerful knowledge and the love that you give. So thank you so much. And thank you for your time here with us. And we look forward to having a second conversation sometime.
Thank you so much, Yongo.
Thank you so much, Gabby, and thank you so much, Melvina.
Thanks for joining us at State of Consciousness Podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us and look forward to the next time. Until then, if you'd like to stay connected, you can feel free to reach out to us via our website at www.innersourcewellnesscenter.com. There you will find links to our podcasts, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel, as well as our mailing list. Stay connected, stay positive. Namaste.